Welcome back to the capsON Sports Podcast. I am not Tyler Blumenstick. I am Anthony Manno, joined this week by Sam Meehan and Nicholas Tobias. Fellas, how we doing?
Manno, congratulations on going 4-1 last week. You deserve every ounce of this hosting debut that you earned today.
Yep, no hat this week. I put my Sunday best on for my hosting.
Let's go.
For my hosting duties.
Let's go.
I feel like a young Ryan Seacrest, just not as famous or good looking. But
I was going to say, you got to outperform me. You got to outperform me.
Yeah, look good, play good though. So we're missing Stick this week for unknown reasons. We tried texting him, calling him. We hacked into a Zoom, and we're doing it without him. So just send your hate mail that way. He's got a bad case of the sleepies, we think. So, but we'll get right into it.
I hope it's the sleepies.
I hope it's the sleepies. I hope it's the sleepies too. Otherwise, you won't be hearing this audio. First game we got going on. We got no picks on the Thursday because these come out on Thursday. So the first pick we got is Carolina and Dallas. This is currently sitting at Dallas -4.5, and I'm the only one with picks on it. Listen, I came in to the season very skeptical of the Dallas defense, right? Last year they were among one of the worst units in football. Like, they were getting picked apart downfield. They were going and getting in shootouts, and that was with pretty much the same talent they got on the field. This year, sans for Micah Parsons, this year they've gotten a big step out of Trevon Diggs, who really shined last week against Philly. So I got to take Dallas -4.5 here. I know Carolina has kind of been like the Cinderella story, and Sam Darnold has kind of been like the redemption story of the year. But I just think Dallas is too good. Carolina's defense is first in DVOA, but I think that Dallas offense is going to expose them. And that's not to say Carolina's bad. I just think Dallas is that good. And I think they can keep the pressure on Sam Darnold and kind of make him look like Jet Sam Darnold as opposed to Carolina Sam Darnold. No Christian McCaffrey either. So I think that plays a big role. They're going to be going to the receivers a little bit more. Did you guys have thoughts?
I mean, I didn't pick this game because, it's so iffy for me. I'm probably leaning more towards you with Dallas. But there's that little stat that I believe Nick sent. Under Matt Rule, the Panthers are 8-1 on the road against the spread, which and a lot of those games are without McCaffrey. But Dallas made a big statement, I think, on Monday night that the rest of the division might be dog shit, but they are not. At least we don't think so yet. So I'll agree there on Dallas. Well, not one of my picks, but I'll ride with you there.
Yeah, definitely Dallas -4.5. This was actually, I was debating picking between this game and the Tampa Bay New England game. And if I'm going this game, I'm going Dallas -4.5. I hate Dallas, but
you gotta pick. I feel like you got to pick the certainty, right? Like, Carolina's defense has been good, right? They've been phenomenal. They were good last year, but like.
Okay, if Dak throws for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, that's it. It's over.
Exactly.
So,
all right. 4.5 is a little shaky, but I think this is Dallas by a touchdown, even if it's like a late game winning touchdown.
Yep.
And Carolina can't come back, so we'll move on. Next one we got on the board. Sam, you got a pick on Minnesota and Cleveland. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised Minnesota was only 2.5 point dogs here, but I assume that's why you're taking Cleveland here.
Oh yeah. So Minnesota's getting the 2-3 points, whatever, for being the home team, but I think I'm saying it every single week that Cleveland Browns might be the best team in AFC. Their roster, top to bottom, both sides of the ball, tops in the league, much better than a very bad Minnesota team right now. I was hoping for Minnesota to be a little better this year, but it seems it's the same old stuff this year. So 2.5, even if we win on a field goal, it's Cleveland. I think honestly they can blow them out of the building. I can say it's been going to be a little close. Cleveland pulls away late with just being a far better roster overall. So this is a big game for the Cleveland Browns, I guess. Big statement like,
Hmm.
hey, like we're good, and especially with the Chiefs kind of looking, a little iffy right now. So take driver's seat in the AFC here. Let's go Browns.
Kirk Cousins has that offense putting up points, and like I will be the last person to defend Kirk Cousins in any
Oh yeah.
capacity, but they're not losing because of Kirk Cousins yet.
Oh, not at all.
They're losing because that defense is getting picked apart. And they only gave up 17 points last week to Seattle. So maybe they're getting something right. And Kirk Cousins is going toe to toe with any QB here. So we'll see how he fares against this Cleveland defense.
Yeah, I see the Cleveland defense being an issue. I mean, let's who has Minnesota played this year so far? Give me one sec.
They've played Cincinnati week 1 and Arizona week 2. So that's a 3-point loss
Seattle,
to Cincinnati and a 1-point loss to Arizona. And
yeah,
then
Cleveland is of the 4 by far the best defense. I think we're gonna see a little Kirk Cousins shenanigans this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go quick.
Not the good kind.
I'll go quick. You want OBJ to have a bounce back game, a game to get him back in his groove. I think this is the game. I think OBJ kind of pops off here. I can't believe you're giving me Cleveland under a field goal here. I would take it any day of the week.
It feels weird. It feels very
well, because
very
Kirk Cousins is red hot, and not only is he red hot this season, but in general he gets red hot at home, and it's not a prime time game. It's red hot at home, not a prime time.
At 1 o'clock. I mean,
I get it. I get the line where it is now, but I would take Cleveland here. So I'd back Sammy with Cleveland here. Oh my God!
Shaky. That's kind of why I stayed away from it.
Let's go. Give it to me.
Next game we got on the line here is Detroit hosting the Chicago Bears, and you're getting Chicago -3 after whatever the hell Matt Nagy and Justin Fields just put on the field last week.
Okay, so I'm the only one who has a pick on this, and I am so extremely confident in this pick, and I love this. I remember seeing it, and I was smiling when I saw this line. I'm taking Detroit +3 on the road. You can get them +3.5 if you want to buy half a point just to buy yourself that extra insurance. I definitely would do that. But did you see what the Chicago freaking Bears did last week? I mean, you think it's gonna be any different? I don't think it's gonna be any different.
No, and Detroit is holding everybody close. Like they're probably not going to win every game, but they're going to.
So first 3 weeks that the first 3 weeks that the Detroit Lions played, they played the 49ers, the Packers, and the Ravens.
Good teams.
Those are 3 really good teams. I mean, those are 3 top tier teams right there. Now you're playing a lower team in Chicago who doesn't have anything, literally does not have anything going for them. Now, granted, Detroit doesn't really have a defense and this and that. I mean, I can go on about Detroit's woes. But Dan Campbell's been on the record saying he's going to give DeAndre Swift a bigger workload this week, which I think is only in the best interest of the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff is kind of not playing too bad. TJ Hawkinson's a beast. Listen, I just think this is a game where the Lions are going to be playing very, very close in this game. I am personally buying an extra half of a point to save me a field goal here, just in case a field goal wins the game
that gets you from -110 to what?
-130. I got it -130.
Okay.
Which I would absolutely take the -130 on the Lions +3.5. Like I said, I would love to have the field goal insurance there, but I'm even comfortable taking the +3. So I think the Lions win. I think they're more of an impressive team. I think Chicago's just washed, and I think Chicago's, even though they're losing their first round pick, so why are they tanking? Why is Chicago tanking if the Giants could get their first round pick anyway? But I don't really care who's starting at quarterback. I'm not even confident if Justin Fields plays quarterback, to be completely honest with you. And it would be
all 3 of them in contention: Dalton, Fields, and Foles. I didn't even know they still had Nick Foles, but here we are.
It doesn't matter. And, for all the boys and girls who will play fantasy football out there, I mean, I have Allen Robinson in about 3 out of my 4 teams, and I'm trying to get rid of him. I don't want him. I don't. I'm just not confident in this offense. This offense is going to put up maybe 10 points, and I can see the Lions put up 30. I mean, the Lions can put up points when they need to, and I'm not worried about that. So give me the Lions +3 on the road here.
I love the Lions. I like the Lions. Well, I like the Lions more than I like whatever Chicago is putting out on the field. They're a little They're a little shaky. Nick, you get to keep talking because you got a pick here on Houston and Buffalo. The line right now is Buffalo favored by 15.5. Before we edited this, right, whenever the original spreadsheet was made, it was 17, so it's come down to 15.5.
Ty God, baby.
Comedy.
Everyone loves Ty God.
Which okay, now Ty God's not playing though. I don't think. I think
Davis
it's,
Mills again.
Oh, you're totally right.
It's still gonna be
Apologize.
Davis Mills show. At the time I took this, I like to look for all the newbies out there or people who are listening. I like to look at lines for the following week starting on Monday, just to see if I can grab anything early, especially stuff that I think is going to change real quickly. And I think this was something I hopped on pretty quickly. I have Houston plus 17 on the road. I mean, I'm still comfortable taking them 15.5 on the road. I kind of think they keep this game close. I mean, I think Buffalo's been in a couple pretty big blowouts the past couple weeks. And I think they kind of stall here. I think they kind of sleep on Houston. And listen, Dave, if anybody watched Thursday last week when who Houston played Carolina, when Davis Mills went in the 2-minute drill and he was throwing the football, he really didn't look that bad, but it looked like the Texans were just drawing up a game plan where you can hand the ball off, play it safe, play it safe, play it safe. If they open them up a little bit, I think they will be okay. Brandon Cooks is kind of popping off. They have 3 running backs who can all run the ball and catch the ball out of the backfield. I mean, listen, 15.5 is a big spread. I mean, granted, I think the Bills can cover it, no problem. But I think this is a game that's going to be a lot closer where they keep it close, especially at halftime, and they can kind of hang in the game, especially towards the end. So I'm taking Houston plus 15.5 on the road here.
Sam?
Yeah.
A lot of air that just came out of your mouth.
I got nothing.
Hefty exhale.
I want to take Buffalo, but it's a lot of points and
a lot of points.
Texans,
It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points.
This is just an ugly spread overall.
I'm normally not a fan of the look ahead, kind of like playing into my bets. But if you are, which Nick is, they're playing the Chiefs next week. So if you're overlooking the Texans because you got the Chiefs next week
which are 100%
on Sunday night. On Sunday night.
Yep.
Right.
Oh my God.
I can get behind that one.
Let's go. Let's go.
15.5 is a little rich for my poor man's taste, but it's tempting to overlook Houston to get to the Chiefs.
Let's go.
Next one we got, Nick, you got 3 in a row here.
I got 3 in a row. Let me go. Introduce me here.
1 o'clock, Nick. We got the Miami Dolphins hosting the Indianapolis Colts. You can get the Miami Dolphins 1.5 point dogs at home. But Nick, you're taking Indy.
Okay, so here's another example of when I grabbed the line early. When I grabbed the line on Monday, I have Indy plus 3 right now. That's what my bet is in for. My bet is in for Indy plus 3. And if you don't believe me, all you fellows out there, fellows and fellettes out there, I'm going to plug it again. Follow my Action Network. Go on my Twitter at Tobias_Nick. Follow my Action Network. You see when I place bets in, I get them in early when I can because I try to snag these early lines. So this is the second early line that I grabbed this week out of my 5 picks. Anyway,
which has been smart.
Give me Indianapolis. Do you not see what happened with Miami last week? It took overtime and a couple Hail Mary passes and plays from the Miami Dolphins just to kind of hang in there with Las Vegas last week. And granted, Las Vegas is playing well. They're hot, whatever.
3-0.
It's taken Miami a whole lot just to hang in that game. And now after all that energy and all that time and all that emotion that you just went into, I'm huge on playing that down week after a high emotion week, or high intensity, high whatever it is. I just think Indy's the better team straight up. I don't care who's quarterbacking. I mean, even if Carson Wentz quarterbacks, I think it makes me feel even a little bit better. Pittman's playing very well. There's a chance that T.Y. Hilton comes back, which I really don't think does anything. Indy's defense really hasn't been impressive, but they also played LA last week. So they had, good competition, face up, kind of see something good. And now you're just playing Miami, who's quarterbacked by Jacoby Brissett. Granted, it's a revenge game for Mr. Jacoby Brissett.
I was going to say, yeah.
But it's the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins haven't really impressed offensively this year, and I don't think they can keep up. Now, Miami has a record, though. Their defense has a record. They've had a takeaway in like 20-something straight football games.
Miami's?
Yes, Miami's defense has a takeaway in 20-something straight football games. So
I would take
Mr. Carson Wentz, take his interception prop. I would absolutely take his interception prop because I think he's gonna get picked off. Anyway, give me Houston. I'm sorry, give me Indy. What we got? -1.5. Give me Indy -1.5 on the road here.
Couple corrections real quick. The Indy played Tennessee last week.
Okay.
They lost
Instead of
by
LA.
11.
I thought it was LA. I'm sorry. I'm 2
LA
weeks
was a
behind.
week prior. They lost by 3. I have Miami -1.5. This is via FanDuel, but regardless, I don't think that changes your. Obviously, wouldn't change your pick. If anything, makes you feel better about it.
Yeah, Manno, where'd you get +1.5? I gotta ask. 'Cause I have them -2 on BetMGM right now.
Probably FanDuel, and I probably just typed it in too
Must be,
fast.
yeah, it's called-
yeah,
just a little
nope, I
typo.
typed it in too fast. Just a little typo.
But
That's all right.
I'm with you on Indy here. Because Indy's issues, like defensive wise, have been really in the secondary, and I don't see Jacoby Brissett really picking them apart. So they can kind of load the box a little bit, get some pressure on him, and give him some confidence and get some turnovers into the secondary. So Indy's due for a win. This is not an 0-3 caliber team, really.
Are you sure? Carson Wentz is a bad quarterback.
The rest of that team is not, and Carson Wentz is I think just a lost quarterback.
Right.
He has talent. It's in his head.
All right. Who cares about Carson Wentz? What about the next game? I hate Carson Wentz. He doesn't have any ankles. He has no ankles.
That's true.
So we have no picks on Philadelphia hosting the Chiefs. That line is Philly +7. The total is 54.5. If anybody was interested in that, no thoughts there. I think Philly gets blown out, by the way.
I think Philly gets blown out, but I know if I bet on Kansas City, it's going to be a close game. So I'm going to keep my hands off.
Philly +7.
Next okay. All right. Sneak it in there. Next we have the Saints hosting.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Quick point. The Chiefs are 1-11 against spread in their last 12 regular season games.
Wow.
Honestly, I think Andy Reid knows what's going on. Everyone's talking how bad the Chiefs are this year.
Andy Reid revenge game.
There you go. And they're also in last place in the AFC West. Do you think they're not going to score 50-something points?
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's why it's not an official pick of mine,
Yeah, good. All right. Who cares? Oh my God. Don't talk about that.
Next we have the New Orleans Saints in their first game back at the Superdome. They get to host the 0-3 New York Giants. The line here is New Orleans -7, which is laughable if you ask me. And the total is 43.5. It is not the lowest total on the board, but it is dangerously close. We're only getting lower from the aforementioned Miami and Colts game. 43.5. No thoughts here. We're going to spend too much time on this one for nobody.
If there's anybody out there listening, if you're listening this far, do not bet on this game. Just don't do it.
Because you're gonna bet on like New Orleans -7 and the Giants end up winning.
The Giants get a backdoor cover. They're gonna hit something stupid.
Sneaky backdoor cover. I mean, like last year, the Giants were very good at covering on the road.
The Giants are so bad.
It's a lot of points.
The game is in New Orleans.
And also the Giants are losing in heartbreaking fashion every week, so it means it's going to be close. So
the Giants aren't going to have any receivers, by the way. Slayton's probably not going to play, and Shepard's probably not going to play. Also, you're missing.
Galladay was limited.
They gave me a call today, so I might have to be there.
Oh, okay. You got to get in game shape. They had Colin Johnson had like 6 receptions for like 35 yards. He's like 6'7". He looks like a young Ramses Barden out there.
That's so bad.
That's a deep cut.
Next, please.
Move on.
Are you sure you want the next one? Well, Sam's
I got something here.
Sam's got a pick on it. Next, we have the New York Jets hosting the Tennessee Titans. It's Tennessee -6.5. The total here is 46. And Sam, you are taking
the Titans.
Yeah.
So everyone ignore what was week one for the Titans. That was just them not showing up. More than anything, that was kind of a wake-up call for them because they went to Seattle and won, and then they beat up on a conference opponent in Indy the past 2 weeks. The Jets are worse than the Giants,
which is hard.
Which is really hard. They looked good in the second half against Carolina. They have not looked good since. They've scored a total of 6 points. Zach Wilson has thrown, I'm not a big math guy, but I think he's thrown about 404 interceptions in the past 2 games.
Quick math, let's do it.
Dude's lost. I know the Titans don't have a great defense, but they have a great offense, and they're going to put up a lot of points. I don't want to overthink. Oh, the Jets are at home. Oh, Zach Wilson's looked good, once every 12 snaps. But no, Tennessee is an AFC champion caliber team, and they're going to blow them out of the building.
No Julio, no AJ Brown. That doesn't do anything for you.
Possible.
Cool. Derrick Henry might run for 12,000 yards.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I mean
but that's the thing. If Rob Saleh and the Jets only have to game plan for Derrick Henry, and granted it's Derrick Henry, right? If you don't have to game plan for AJ Brown and
one of them is going to play. That's
you think so? I think not.
I think so. That's more of not. I mean, not like from anything I've read. It's more of a
I think Julio
a gut
plays.
feeling. One of them's going to be playing.
I think honestly, I think Julio plays because Vrabel kind of called him out a couple of weeks ago about resting and kind of being a little bitch. So I think
Julio Jones.
Yeah, I think Julio is going to play this week just to be like, guess what? I'm playing hurt and I'm still going to put up 100 receiving yards. But whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be an unofficial pick for me, an unofficial Tennessee -6.5. I took them already -6.5. That was before I knew AJ Brown and Julio Jones were both out. Still, I don't care. Derrick Henry's going to rush for anywhere between 200 to 300 yards with 2 to 3 touchdowns, and it's going to be gross because the Jets are the worst team in the league. Okay, they have no defense. They have no offense. Their coaching staff isn't that good. They don't know what they're doing. Zach Wilson's kind of a bum, and it's the Jets. I just really hope the Jets are bad. I just love when the Jets are bad.
That's back-to-back takes.
Yeah, sorry.
If you ask anybody, it's all good, man. They haven't. They haven't shown me anything that they deserve to be head coaches.
If Tennessee gets to 20 points, they will easily cover.
It's a culture thing. I guess they're trying to build culture over there with the Jets locker room. But how do you build culture when your team is getting blown out in 3 straight games? How do you show up in there and be like, hey, drop down and get me 10 push-ups? What do you mean? I can't win a football game. You think 10 push-ups is going to make you win a football game? Whatever. Get out of here. I don't want to talk about it.
I would. I'd be tempted to take the Jets here if I had a pick. I think Rob Saleh is probably a good coach. He's a good defensive coach, at least. It really depends on Zach Wilson and that offense, right? Whatever the other LaFleur that isn't the head coach in Green Bay calls. I don't know if it's Matt or Mike. I think it's Matt. No, Mike. Irrelevant.
It's Coach.
Coach LaFleur. I would take the Jets here if I wanted to put a pick on it. I think it's a sneaky line here. Assuming those AJ Brown and Julio Jones don't play. I don't know who the other receivers on that roster are, so I think that makes life a little bit easier. Moving on, though, we have the Washington football team going on the road to Atlanta and giving 1.5 points.
Red hot Atlanta.
Yeah, red hot Atlanta. I think this is maybe not the easiest pick on the board for me because everybody's kind of down on Washington's defense, right? And rightfully so. They've stunk for the better part of the 3 games that have been played this season. They have given up. Let me make sure I got my numbers right. They have given up 20 points to the Chargers, so that's pretty good. And they gave up 29 points to the Giants. That's pretty bad.
That's baffling.
Yeah, and then they gave up 43 points to the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills have a really good offense. They'll pick you apart any way they can. But I think it's a big-time get-right game for the football team. Mm-hmm. I think the names on that team are a lot better than what they've shown. I don't think the Falcons are all that good. They couldn't do much against the Giants outside of, whenever the Giants were in like playing like zone, they were able to get like crossing routes over the middle and stuff like that. But I think Washington is a better defense than they've shown. I think 1.5 is a pretty easy line here. I got to take Washington on the road in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not sold on Washington's defense. I think it's going to be really. I mean, I think that the spread is very accurate. I mean, I'd even give 2.5 just to make it within a field goal. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think both defenses are pretty trash, and Heineke I think can throw the ball pretty well, and especially I don't know if they're getting Curtis Samuel back this week. I saw he was practicing. I don't know if he's going to come back.
Mm-hmm. I think he was activated. I think he's. I mean, I don't know how many snaps he's going to play. But,
yeah. I mean, I think both these offenses can do pretty good damage against each other's defense. Atlanta kind of looked decent against Tampa Bay when they played a couple weeks ago until they threw a couple pick sixes at the line of scrimmage where a defensive lineman batted it down, which, listen, I can't really blame Matt Ryan too much, except he's got to get the ball, whatever. I mean, I would be on Atlanta. I'd be on Washington -1.5 here. I think it's a very good game. And that's why I'm not going to touch it. I think it can go both ways. But
the offense is the main concern for me here with Washington. I mean, like, Taylor Heineke's Taylor Heineke. Like, he's not the God's gift to football, like everybody was saying, because he replaced Fitzpatrick and then he beat the Giants once and looked good in a playoff game, where the other team had like 3 days to scheme up against him or something like that. But I just think Washington's the better football team here. Sam, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you that Washington's defense has not played to what we expected so far, and kind of, they're too good to be playing this bad. But also, I was like not high in Atlanta, but I was thinking a pretty decent year from Atlanta coming in. So I don't want. This is kind of an iffy game for me. I want to lean Washington, but I'm not confident in either side.
I'm with you too. I thought Atlanta's offense would be a lot better, but you come from Arthur Smith coming from Tennessee, and you look what he had at Tennessee, and then you look what he has in Atlanta, and the talent is probably comparable, but he just can't. I mean, he wants to run the ball, and he wants to run first and play action second. So like it's a little easier to do that when you have Derrick Henry than when you have Mike Davis. So we'll see if they get better. But moving on, we got the 4:00 game. So 4:05, we have the Los Angeles Rams playing host to the Arizona Cardinals. You got the Rams -3.5. And Sam, you are the only one with a pick on this one, and that's kind of surprising to me, actually.
I guess we only have there's no opinions on this game, but the Rams are the best team in football, and I don't think that's really a question right now. Matthew Stafford was a diamond in the rough in Detroit. He kept that team in somewhat relevancy with some very, very bad teams. And he's finally getting a shot on a legit contender, and he is not wasting it. And again, throw out week 1 when the Cardinals smacked on the Titans, because the Titans didn't show up. The Cardinals, better game plan. But since then, the Cardinals have been they're 3-0. Don't get me wrong, they're a good team, but they barely squeaked by a not very good Minnesota team, and they were asleep for 2.5 quarters against Jacksonville, and they still won by 12 because they were turning it on. But this is not Jacksonville. If they don't show up to this game for even 5 minutes, they'll go down 2 touchdowns. And I just think the Rams, just look at the rosters on both sides. Defensively, offensively, I think they're stronger on both sides. Stafford took no time at all to get chemistry with all those weapons, especially with Cooper Kupp, who has been an outstanding fantasy pickup for your boy here. So
best wide receiver so far.
Yeah, it's been great. So I drafted 1 and 2. I have Kupp and Mike Williams both as receiver 1 and flex. So, and Cooper in the middle there. So doing great.
There you go. Solid.
But I like the Rams here -3.5, 4, whatever you get them. I think they win this game by a touchdown or 10 points or so. Just the better team. Is kind of an early season statement game for the division.
I mean, I won't argue that LA is the best team in this game. I think it's just going to be. Yes, I mean, I took them to win the Super Bowl at +870 because I think it's only going to go down from there, and I can profit from that. I'm taking them. I mean, I have an unofficial one, but I'm going over on this game. This is an indoor game. I mean, for both players who are both used, both quarterbacks are both used to playing indoors. It's just going to be back and forth. I mean, it's a shame because I have the Rams defense in a couple leagues, and I don't think it's gonna do anything for me. But I think it's going to be an over kind of game here. Give me L. I'm not going to take a side. I'm just going to take the over.
I like that. This might be the first time in NFL history where So the Rams traded for Matt Stafford, right? And everybody and their mother was like, that's a phenomenal trade. Like, look what they're going to do, right? And usually when that happens, usually it doesn't work out like the same expectancy. But like when a coach like Sean McVay and what he can do with an offense trades for a guy like Matthew Stafford, who has been one of the better quarterbacks in the league, despite being in a rat situation in Detroit, it's been a world of difference for both of those guys, where they can, one, show Matt Stafford's a really good fucking quarterback, and two, Sean McVay can do more with Matt Stafford than he could with Jared Goff. And if he had Jared Goff in that Super Bowl, he probably would have beat the Patriots by 65 or some shit like that, But either way, we move on.
Next game, please.
The next game we have is the San Francisco 49ers playing home against the Seattle Seahawks, and this line is San Francisco -3, and the total is 52.5. I am the only one with a pick on this one, and I have San Francisco. The Seahawks defense isn't good. It's never good. It hasn't been good since the Legion of Boom. And Richard Sherman just re-signed. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that's
yeah.
I feel like that kind of went under the
Tampa Bay.
With Tampa.
He signed with Tampa Bay because of course he did, right? Of course he signed with Tampa
Of course.
Bay.
Brady loses and starts recruiting immediately.
Yeah, for sure. But I think they're going to be able to do whatever they want to San Francisco's. San Francisco's going to be able to do whatever they want to Seattle's defense. Like I said, they're not good. They're going to be able to run the ball all over them. And if they stop the run, they're going to be able to pass. Shanahan's got a wizard game plan up his sleeve, and he's might drop 50 points. 3 points here is egregious, if you ask me. Am I a little worried Seattle might keep it interesting? Yeah, because Russell Wilson's a really good quarterback, but I trust San Francisco here. It's only a matter of time before Trey Lance gets in that offense too. So.
I mean,
you guys have any thoughts?
This game for me is really close. I think whoever makes the least mistake wins, and I don't know what side that's going to be on, so I'm not going to touch it. I think the line is actually pretty spot on with a field goal. I'm hands off.
Okay. All right, Sam.
Yeah, I agree with. I'm leading San Fran, but these big divisional games early on. I mean, we're still in Russell Wilson MVP territory, so we could have a magical game from him. He's thrown 7 touchdowns, 0 picks so far. But again, the San Fran defense I think will be too much with a still somehow terrible Seattle offensive line. But
it's Russell Wilson. He's gonna move
exactly.
around.
He can Houdini out of the pocket like nobody else. So I don't want to touch this.
Yeah, if I asked you, like, off the top of your head, how many yards a game do you think the Seattle defense is giving up right now, or giving up a game?
32.
I don't know, maybe something like 460.
They are giving up 440 yards per game.
It's a lot of yards.
It is a lot of yards. Second to Washington, the third to Kansas City, all in that 430 to 440 range. And you have an offensive mastermind in Shanahan. I think it's easy here. But only one with the pick on it. Next, we have the Denver Broncos, the red hot Denver Broncos. I said earlier that Carolina's kind of been the Cinderella story. All right, red hot, but 3-0. If you look at the record, they're 3-0. Has kind of been the Cinderella, but I think Denver has a case to be to kind of be the Cinderella there as well. They're hosting the Baltimore Ravens, and the line that you can get right now is Denver +1. Sam, you and I have a pick. I just talked a lot. All you, brother.
All right, so let's look at the Broncos' schedule so far this season.
Please enlighten me on the teams.
They're 3-0. Yes, I mean, if you're going to be a good team, you got to take care of business against the lesser teams of the NFL. But alas, they have played. Week 1, they played the Giants, won by 14. Week 2, they played the Jaguars, they won by 10. And then this past week in their home opener, they played the Jets and they won by 26.
Yeah, bad team.
What do all three teams have in common? They're awful.
They're
Bad
combined
teams.
0-9.
Yeah, that's not good.
The
If you
Baltimore
combined all
Ravens
three
are
of those
not
teams,
0-3.
if you combined all three of those teams, would they be able to beat the Broncos?
Depends who the quarterback is.
It'd probably be
I
maybe
think
Trevor
if you
Lawrence.
combine them all, you could probably
I'd rather have
Trevor Lawrence.
I'd rather have T-Law than Daniel
No,
Jones.
it would be
Probably would
Daniel
too.
Jones 100%.
Think
Daniel
about-
Jones has
okay.
played well this
That's
year.
irrelevant.
Daniel
Okay.
Jones is bad. I don't really care.
That's fine.
But either way,
Can you tell me why you're taking the best team, please?
I'm taking the team that has better football players in this game.
Yeah,
um,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
like
Yeah.
Denver, yeah, they're 3-0, but I haven't seen anything yet. It's not like they've been like. I mean, they have their defense does look very good, but Lamar Jackson is a little better than the latter three quarterbacks that they've played.
Mm-hmm.
So
Their
and
pass defense has
especially
been phenomenal.
the past couple weeks, after a letdown week 1 for Baltimore, if I'm thinking correctly, that game against the Chiefs, I think gave him a lot of mojo. And Justin Tucker, kicked one from about,
66 yards.
Timbuktu, whatever the fuck, 66 yards for the win. So, now I'm second guessing. No, don't second guess myself.
Nope.
Yeah, no, the Ravens are just the better team. Just no more words. Manno, you
Listen,
go.
I think Baltimore is the better team. I agree with you, right? But they're playing in Denver, right? And Denver has, whatever air, quality, elevation things that they got going on. That obviously plays a factor. Obviously, the Denver guys are used to it. The other dudes are not. And Lamar Jackson didn't practice today. He's got a back injury, and he had illness before. He hasn't practiced. I don't think he's practiced all week because
I think it's
illnesses.
excuses, but whatever.
Either way, he hasn't practiced, right? Whether it's just safety precaution, whatever, or he's just sitting out to sit out, whatever.
Yeah, his back hurts from being the only good player on that team.
Yeah, apparently. But my big concern here, right? I would probably pick Denver if it was any other team than Baltimore with this line. My thing is the Denver's pass defense has been phenomenal this season. They have some really good names in that secondary. But Baltimore's not going to come out and actively throw the ball. Like, that's not their game plan. They're going to try to run it down your throat first, right? And then take their shots deep once you start creeping in safeties and stuff like that. So I think Baltimore has a better game plan to exploit Denver's weaknesses. So I think Baltimore probably gets it by a field goal here. So I mean, like you said, Sam, I'm all over Baltimore. Better team, better players, better game plan going in. So, Nick, do you have thoughts?
Ravens money line.
Rams. Okay,
Ravens
money
money
line.
line.
I mean,
Ravens money line.
even with
Forget about it.
with that thin air, they can get like a 75-yard from Justin Tucker to win the game.
Yeah, Justin Tuck's salivating right now. He's like, yo,
I'm gonna break my own record again.
I just kicked a 66-yarder in Detroit. Can you let me? Can you let me try one from the
It
goal
could be a
line?
1st and 10. Just line them up from 75. Let them go.
Yeah. Jeez, man, that's ridiculous. 66 yards is ridiculous, and if he does longer than 66 yards in Denver, he's going to ask for it. If they're blowing him out,
Yeah,
he's gonna
if
ask
there's
for it.
one place where you can really get 70 plus, is going to be Denver. So
Yeah, or in a dome or something like that. Yeah, I mean, if you're not in a dome, then yeah, I think he could do it. He almost missed, but 66. But I think we can get him. I think we can get him to 70. Next game we got is the Green Bay Packers playing host to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got Green Bay -6.5. The total is 45.5. I'm the only one with a pick here. I'm gonna ride Green Bay until wheels come off, brother. Aaron Rodgers is gonna put in another MVP season, like I said last week, just out of sheer fuck you, right? And I don't know if you guys watched Pittsburgh last week, but they got picked apart by Joe Burrow.
they're not good.
No, they're not good. And they were missing some key parts on that defense, sure. But even with those key parts, I think Joe Burrow still probably picks them off, and even Air picks them apart. And even if he doesn't, that offense was miserable. I think I counted more times that Big Ben tripped over his 2 feet than I do in a day, right? And I can't walk. So it's I feel like this is easy 6.5 here at home. Pittsburgh isn't good. Like I feel like this is an easy Green Bay -6.5 pick for me.
Yeah, that's easy. I would take it too if I was anybody listening.
Yeah, that Pittsburgh offense, that's the word, is so bad. Big Ben looks significantly worse than Peyton and Breeze did in their last years, where their fans had pitchforks inside the arena, like demanding them to retire. So
I personally wonder if Pittsburgh can get it going against a really bad Green Bay defense. Personally, I think he might be. I think he can listen. I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but I could see him maybe getting a little because they're short route boys. He's not throwing deep.
He threw the ball to Najee Harris 14 times or some garbage like that. You don't check down 14 times.
Do it again. Tom Brady won a lot of Super Bowls like that.
Yeah, but that's different. That's Tom Brady with a scheme that actually works.
Oh, is that a good bridge? Who's playing next Sunday night?
Heyo.
That's a good bridge. We got the New England Patriots playing host to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It is Tampa Bay -7.5, and we are not big Patriots fans here on the pod. So, fellas, Nick, Sam, you both have Tampa Bay.
I actually want to know why you don't have a pick on this. Honestly, why did you not pick this game?
I liked other things on the board. I would probably pick the Buccaneers though here as well if I were to make a pick. I mean, we only do 5 picks each, right? So I liked other things on the board more than this one. I wouldn't be surprised if Bill Belichick has been scheming for this game for like the entire offseason and is going to come in with like a rock solid plan against all these dudes and maybe keeps it close. Like I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying it's not out of realm of possibility that Bill Belichick is going to put a spite game plan up here and do some shit.
Oh, I want to talk about spiteful. Tom Brady revenge game, and you're going to bet against him.
There's 2 more people that are playing revenge games.
Antonio Brown
and Gronk.
Dude,
you're going to trade me? Hey, fuck you! I retire. That.
And then I'm going to play against you and torch your defense. I mean, Jesus Christ. You want to talk about an absolute – this is going to be disgusting. It's going to be absolutely gross. I took Tampa Bay -5.5, and I'm happy I grabbed it at -5.5 on Monday. That's the 3rd out of my 5 picks that I took early. Just dropping the subtle hints here. I mean, there's no way Tom Brady doesn't throw for 700 yards and 12 touchdowns. There's absolutely no.
There's no way he goes anywhere under 700 yards.
And there's no way Mac Jones keeps up. Tampa Bay -7. Give me Tampa Bay -1 million. It's just not even going to be close. I mean, you tell me Brady's not going to come back and just show out because he knows the only reason the Patriots were good was because of him. Yeah, Belichick had the team in line, blah, 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 blah. But you need a Hall of Fame. You need not even arguably, he is the greatest quarterback of all time. You need the greatest quarterback of all time on your team to win anything. Give me Tom Brady -7. Give me the Patriots. Give me the New England. I mean, oh my God. Wow. Sam, take the mic, please. I'm done. Sam, take the mic. I'm done.
I already gave my part. Just real quick, just Tom Brady revenge game. That's all I need to know.
I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. You can't write it any better than this. You can't.
And Brady off a loss, especially.
Off of a tough loss. Off of a
tough
boy.
Loss. Oh boy.
Loss. I mean, they kind of got, the Buccaneers kind of got thrown around last game. He couldn't get anything going. Oh my God, a mad Tom Brady, back in New England against his old team, who he's going to say, hey, I just won a championship on their team. Oh my God, dude, it's going to be so good. Forget it. I can't wait. It's going to be such a blowout. I'm not even going to want to watch it.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I'm so
there you guys have it. Last game we got here is the Monday, 8:15. We got the Chargers and the Raiders. Chargers are given 3 points to the Raiders. Total here is 52.5. Nick, you're the only one with a pick on this one, and you are taking the Chargers. Take us home, my friend.
I was riding the Vegas train all year. Well, I guess all year is 3 weeks. I rode the Vegas train for 3 weeks. I'm on the Vegas train, but I just had to get off. I had to I'm taking a quick bathroom break. Okay.
Yeah. You got to transfer trains.
I got to take a connecting train right now. The way Las Vegas looked last week against the Miami Dolphins is what scares me. They let Jacoby Brissett throw and keep them in the football game. Their defense has been pretty suspect all year. Yes, they beat Baltimore week 1. Listen, I won't argue. That's a legit win. You know, them beating the Ravens week 1 is a legit win. But what I've seen from them the past couple of weeks, it's taken a couple miracles and a couple real big. They were going to lose that game against Miami last week. Mind you, Los Angeles just put up 30 last week against Kansas City. Kansas City doesn't have that good of a defense. I get it. But Los Angeles is more of a complete football team. Herbert, I think finally he found his footing last week. You have Keenan Allen, who's going to run routes and he's always going to draw attention. Mike Williams, who showed out in the offseason, who was talked about all offseason, bounce back here, wait for him, here he comes. I mean, if anybody plays fantasy football, take a look at his stats and let me know how you think he's doing.
Two wide receiver.
There you go. You have Keenan Allen drawing all the attention. You got Mike Williams one-on-one. I mean, the Las Vegas Raiders defense is bad, and I really don't even think this is going to be a good game. I'm going to take Los Angeles at home -3. I am all aboard the Los Angeles Chargers hype. I hope their defense can come to play because that's going to be important. But I don't even know if I think Vegas might be getting Josh Jacobs back this week, but I really don't even think that matters. The only person that Derrick Henry is going to have to be throwing the ball to is Waller, and he's going to have to try to pop it really deep to Mr. Henry Ruggs, 40 yards down the field, hopefully. But I mean, I think Los Angeles has the firepower to kind of keep pushing. They have the power to pull away early. They have the power to pull away late. I don't think it takes a lot for Las Vegas to keep up in these games that they've played, especially one that's taken a lot of effort. Give me Los Angeles at home -3. I love this game. I love this game.
Yeah, all three of their wins are kind of like, you know,
Again,
fighting wins.
Yes, the Baltimore win's legit. That's a legit W. That was good for them for catching that W. The other two are suspect. I mean, they're suspect W's. They're tough W's. It took a lot of effort. I just don't trust it.
But even they beat Baltimore in OT, right? So I mean, like something goes another way, and they wanted to lose that game. They asked to lose that. They were like, "Please, sir, may I lose this game?" And Baltimore was like, "Nah, brother, we're losing this game."
Yeah, and then they beat Pittsburgh week 2.
They beat Pittsburgh, and then they just beat Miami in overtime again.
But beating Pittsburgh looked a lot less impressive when Pittsburgh just got beat down by Cincinnati. So that just looks a lot less impressive for me than last week. You need OT to beat Jacoby Brissett. I mean, come on, dude. Come on.
I mean, if this is ever a time to get off the Raiders train and kind of see like, all right, what are we really dealing with here without putting your money on it? Let's see what they do against the Chargers team where there's weapons all over the place and a defense that's solid. I don't know if they'll have Derwin James, but still a solid defense.
They're going to get picked apart.
This Chargers defense that just picked apart Pat Mahomes.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yeah, you know, I've been big on the Raiders so far, but I mean, bigger than the Chargers, like just as much as you know the Rams. I've been big on them since preseason, and dare I mention where the Super Bowl is being held this season?
Please tell me where.
It will be at SoFi in Inglewood, right outside of LA. So I'm starting to manifest a Chargers Rams Super Bowl.
Wow,
I respect that. I respect that.
Chargers Rams Super Bowl from LA. You heard it here first. Well, I'm probably not the first one to say it, but
all right. So since this is going to be publishing after Thursday night, we got Cincinnati -7.5 at home against the Jacksonville Chargers. The Jacksonville Jaguars. What are we taking here? I'm taking Cincy 7.5.
I like Cincy too.
I like Jacksonville.
Oh my God, dude!
Did you have to like choke that one out?
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna take Cincy, but
someone's gonna have to call the ambulance to pick.
I don't want to touch this game at all.
Yeah, no, we're not touching. We're not touching. We're not touching this game. This is just a formality right here.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. That's been the Manno. Go ahead. Compliment me. Yeah, go ahead.
You did great.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good job. Right, yes, sir. Look at all the boys getting on board right now. Let's do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good morning, Stick.
Right.
Yeah, good morning. Good
morning.
Yeah,
we got confirmation he was sleeping. Breaking news, he was sleeping. Anyways, this has been the capsON Sports Podcast. I am Anthony Manno. My co-host this week, Nick Tobias, Samuel Meehan. You can follow Nick at
Twitter, Tobias_Nick, and then hit me up on Action Network because all I do is post winners.
And you can follow Sam at
Sam Meehan, spelled MEAHAN 38. on Twitter. And again, I have the link to my Action Network there. Follow along for some. I've been pretty good with the college football past couple of weeks too. So, if you want to follow on with those.
Oh yeah, Sam, that's a good plug. We do bet a little bit more than NFL around here, so you guys should follow for more than NFL stuff.
Mm-hmm. I got 20 games.
I'll start posting some stuff on the site too as well for college football.
I got 20 games. I bet on for Saturday. It's a good slate. Sam, give me what do you got? Real quick. Ole Miss, Alabama. Who do you got?
What's the spread?
It's at Ole Miss, correct?
I believe so. Yes. Let me get you the relevant information.
It should be about 16, 17 points ish.
I will get you that information momentarily.
I want to take Ole Miss.
Relevant bit of information. Nick Saban has never lost against I'm
not saying
an
they're going to come out and beat him. Oh, it's in Bama.
Oh, it's at Bama.
At Bama, 14.5.
14.5.
I'm still going to take Ole Miss plus. I'll get the half point, make it 15.
All right.
Okay.
I like that. I have the under, by the way.
I'm going to take Bama.
Also, Rutgers plus 15.
Wow. Rutgers almost beat Michigan last week. Anyways.
Yeah, and they got Ohio State this weekend.
Wow. Ohio State's wearing all reds, too. So if you don't know college football, you might think they're both Rutgers, which might be a good thing. Anyways, that's it for the capsON Sports podcast. I'm Anthony Manno. You can find me at Burner of Anthony. You can find capsON Sports pretty much everywhere across the World Wide Web. I believe we're at capson.sports pretty much everywhere, or capson_sports. If you just type in capsON Sports, we'll fucking come up. We'll be the first result. We'll be the only result.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for listening. We look forward to gracing your ears next week. Peace. Adios.